So, okay, it has started. Thank God. I think it's automatic or something. Okay, now we are good. So that's just like a forward talk before everything. So by the time you start getting deeper, thicker, confusing, you will know that it is what you signed up for. Because by the time you start doing your extra classes, extra research, extra reading, you have been getting yourself prepared before you even get deeper into the study. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about, still preparing my slide though. Oh, sorry. So they named it blockchain transactions, that Mood 1. But according to what we have here in this curriculum, it's more than blockchain transaction, but everything is about transacting on blockchain. Everything about blockchain, like you're just making a transaction from one person to another person. So I still refer to it as blockchain transaction. So we'll be talking about, see, my class. Let's talk about my class before I start the class. Okay, so my class, I like it to be very interactive. Stop me when you don't understand what I'm explaining so that you get to understand. Don't just assume that I might not respond. I like to respond in class, and I also love a very interactive class. Yeah, very interactive. If you have anything you want to say, if you have any correction you want to correct me, we are all here to learn. Me staying here today because I want to learn more. So if there's anything I might be saying wrong and you think, oh, this is what I read somewhere, but what you're saying is different from it, or this is what our previous tutor taught us. So we can then do Google search. Google search will be our how will I put this? Our middleman, or what's the name of this thing in Web3? There's a name for a particular why am I into this movie? So Google will be like our guide. So whatever Google says based on our arguments will be what we go with, and it will help both of us understand. So feel free to let me know when you have a question, raise your hand, unmute your mic, type your questions while we go ahead. But the most important is us understanding this class between today and tomorrow, having a general understanding of what we are going to talk about, and we doing more research on it. So, curriculum, we're talking about Ethereum accounts, which I'm sure by now is not something new. We're talking about EVM. Yeah, as a blockchain developer, you have to understand how the EVM works. Yeah, you might not understand it fully, but at least you have to know at least the basics understanding of the EVM. Like what you need to know, how it is being, how is it running transaction on the blockchain, what type of transaction does it run? Is it every transaction that EVM gets involved, or just some transactions? How is it even being done successfully that people can do this successfully and everything here? The work tools you need as a developer. Yeah, we need the work tools. That's MetaMask. I'm sure we've heard of that. I think we should have heard of Remix too. So there are some easy tools too that has been provided, developed by other developers for us. We have Adapt, Truffle, and also use Ganache with Truffle. And also the extension you'll be using while you are building that makes your work easier, or formats your work for you so that you know that, oh, I'm writing a Solidity language. This is what I should do. In case you make error, it will notify that, oh, there's an error here, so that you won't push what you're not supposed to push to the blockchain. An introduction to Solidity, and the last one is nodes and client and JSON outputs. So how it is being used, how it gets us to fetch data on the blockchain and everything. So that's that on that. Am I audible enough? Let me confirm if I start.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you. So Ethereum accounts. Yeah. Let me just read and explain. An Ethereum account is an entity that can send transaction and has a balance. That's just the simple definition you can get. I'll try as much as possible to be like simple, because although blockchain protocol is added, like can be very technical here, but I'm trying much. So an Ethereum account is an entity that can send transaction and has a balance. That's just a definition. But what does an Ethereum account consist of? How does it look? What does it look like on the blockchain? It consists of 64 hexadecimal character on the Ethereum virtual machine. That's the EVM. We're going to talk about that later. An example of an Ethereum addresses are this 64 hexadecimal character. This one is one, and this one is another address. So this is how an address looks like. This is an account. This is the account that uses to perform transaction on the blockchain, just like a normal bank account and every other thing on the blockchain. There's not much about this, but there's different. There are different type of blockchain. Just two types of sorry, there are two types of accounts on the Ethereum blockchain. So we have the two types of accounts, which is the externally owned account. Externally owned account is a type of account controlled by private key. What do they mean? It is an account whereby before you can perform a transaction or before you can do anything with it, there's a need for you to use your private key to do a transaction. A private key is a character, I think it's a 64 characters too, that helps you to sign transactions successfully on the blockchain. The private key is the one that shows that you're actually the true owner of this account. Anybody that has a private key to any account, basically can sign any transaction. It is named private because it has to be private. It is not a private data that you can just share and say, I can share it with my best friend, it's my private data. It's where you hold your bank PIN, the PIN that allows you to withdraw your money on normal Web2 background, Web2 transaction, is the way you also hold your private key. You don't share your private key with anybody. You don't show it to anybody. You don't give it to anybody to see. You don't mistakenly show it. Because the private key, when leaked, or when another person has it, the person can do anything to your transaction, and there's nobody you can complain to because we are in a decentralized world. Nobody has authority to your money. You have the control to your money. So that thing that makes you have control to your money must not be shared to anybody. It is only for you. You keep it. No virus must enter your system and wipe it away or take it to another person that will be able to use it. If I have access to your private key, I will withdraw your money. So this is just me saying that an EOA address is the type of address that is controlled by private key, and the private key must be kept secure. An EOA, as name implies, is an externally owned account, which helps to transfer money from one account to the other account. EOA doesn't have anything to do with codes. When we say we are writing code and everything, and EOA doesn't have code in it. The only function it's doing is just transfer data or digital assets from one account to the other account. And another function that it can do, we'll talk about that later. So the next type of account is the contract account. Now, this is the one, although everybody will have to use this, you can't even have this. You can't have a contract account without having an EOA. Yes. But as for developers, this one you get to understand it when you are developing and building on the blockchain. But what type of account is this? It's a type of account controlled by codes. This contract account doesn't have private key. But what control is the code that you write in this. The code is the smart contract deployed to the contract. That is, when you write the smart contract, you write a series of code, series of instructions, and you deploy it to the blockchain. The blockchain gives you an address attached to this code. So anytime you want to perform a transaction on this type of addresses, it expects you to perform codes that are related to these accounts. There is nothing like private key. It is this code that will guide what this address will do. Unlike an EOA that tells that is the private key that will tell you what this EOA should do, what this address should do. It should transfer money. Okay, let me see your private key. You have your private key. Also, you can transfer money. But the contract, anytime you trigger, you're using a contract address, it's looking for a code that is being attached to it, because every contract address has a code being attached to it. So it's going to look for the code and try to check whatever instruction the code has that the contract can perform. We get that. So for a practical level, we'll go to what we call data scan and see two differences between a normal EOA account and a contract account. So you see the difference between them. So we have this latest transaction, this latest block being mined. These are the blocks that have been mined, and these are the transactions that have been mined. So I'm going to click on any one. This is when they say your record and your data are public. Your record and data are public. See, I don't know who made this transaction, but I know that's what, oh, look at this, is a flash bot that even made this transaction. This particular account is recognized on this on Metascan. So I won't be using the recognized account because it might be taking us to some other things. So I'll look for another one that doesn't have a recognized account. Okay, this one uses Uniswap. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, there's another MEV bot. This is a big transaction going on. For something else. So this is another, okay, this is a normal transaction. Awesome, good. So look at this, is a receipt you generate anytime you perform a transaction on the blockchain. Oh, somebody has a question. Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
Falilat, good
Someone has a
evening.
question. Yes. Good
Yeah, so
evening.
can you check the chat box? Someone is saying you should, if you can make the screen bolder.
Oh my goodness. That's okay. All right, thank you. In case of this, in case if I'm outside of the screen, like if I'm not on the meeting page, please, I want to see whatever you type, and there's no thing beeping here that there's a message from you. So please try to unmute yourself or raise your hand so I can know there's a message from you. Thank you. So I'm going to increase it. So this
So
is
I'm
okay.
so sorry for interrupting. So I would
No.
like to have like a brief what's it called with the mentees.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Can anyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you guys doing?
Fine. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
How has it been so far?
Very well, ma.
I mean, the learning phase. This is the second week of the learning
Yes,
phase.
this is the second week. That's been going on well.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Yes, ma'am.
So just a quick one. Uh, Um, I want you guys to understand that this learning phase is an intense learning phase. All right, we are done with the prep phase, which is like the beginner phase, where the blockchain and the basics of the blockchain was introduced, and now we are in the real business. So starting from now, there is not going to be, so it's going to be code, learning how to code, learning about solidity and the practical of the blockchain, because this is Web3. And I want to believe that we are all aware that to be in this track, you need a good understanding of web development, which is um the technical of I mean, the what's it called? You need the knowledge of Web2 basically. It's a requirement, like it's a requirement. There is no, this particular track is not for people that just want to learn about blockchain or without coding experience that just want to go into blockchain development. It is for people that have Web2 knowledge. When I say Web2 knowledge, I'm talking about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and other technical another technical things that you need to know as a web developer, right? In terms of Git, how to use Git and GitHub, in terms of Node.js, how to create project and all of those things. All right. So, and it is highly advised that if you have time and if you have time and resources, you go beyond what you are being taught in class. Like I said earlier, this phase is really intense, and we are looking for the best ladies to finish up. All right. We have requests, we have recommendations, and we need ladies that are sound, that are technically sound, that we can put up for those opportunities. All right. So because I think I was in class sometime last week and I saw someone saying that the class was really dull and and they were not understanding, and like the mentor wasn't really teaching them or something. So 2 hours is not enough to even learn much, and we can't just extend the hour of the classes. Do you understand? And we are actually getting complaints that the weekly activities are becoming too much and overwhelming. So we are just trying to look for balance. Yeah. And even if we are going to extend the hours of class, it's still not enough. I mean, we've all gone through different learning experiences in terms of, say, secondary school, university, and for those that are still in the university right now, you only have limited amount of time in class. Then you go outside, you go after your class, probably when you get home, you read more, you do more research. So that is how it is. And it's even better for those learning experiences that I just mentioned. Because for this one, this is an online training. So it's not going to be like a physical training or a platform where they will hold your hand and be telling you A for apple, B for ball. You do extra curricular activities that is going to help you to be ahead of the class, to be able to catch up with the class, and it's going to be really intense. So we are not just going to be like trying to make sure that everybody gets along 100%. We have our own part to play. You have more parts to play. All right. So I just want you guys to understand that, so that we are on the same level. So if you are having any struggle, yes, you have different challenges, but just believe that there is nothing you set your mind to that you will not achieve. All right. So just try to understand how you learn and try to find a balance. And if you have any challenge or any question or any blocker or any difficulty, you can send a DM to your mentor or to any of the contributor, or even to me myself. Okay. And also, if you have any blocker concerning assignment or what you are being taught, please drop it on the channel. Ask your colleagues, connect with them. Where you are lacking, let them know, so that you can get help as well. All right. So this phase is for 6 weeks, and this is the second week, and we'll be having eviction during this phase. And then, but after we are done with this phase, we'll be moving to the bounty phase. So the bounty phase is just going to be like practical only. There's not going to be classes at all. So you only have 6 weeks to learn everything you can learn, and which is not enough. In fact, 16 weeks, more than that is not enough. I mean, we are not going to be having training for the rest of God knows how long. Do you understand? And if we note, and also we notice that some people have other courses that they are taking. We learned about someone that is doing data science course, learning Python, learning JavaScript, doing machine learning, AI and robotics all at once. I mean, that is actually really funny. Like, it's funny. So if you can only do one thing at a time, even the one thing, you still need hours and time and years and months of dedication before you can even say, okay, you can even come out to even say, yes, you know this thing. Not to talk of learning JavaScript and Python and data science and like, so if you have any other course that you are into, just try to make sure you stick to one. We are going to do our best to give you the best. And even the mentors are ready for you to attend to any of your challenges. All right. But we can all okay, you more you one day I will allow you to speak. So guys, please, we want you to take the opportunity for this course. All right. We want to take the opportunity of this course and um take what you can take from it. Take what you can take from it. We have several post mentorship activities in terms of internship, and recently we got recommendations, and we are looking for ladies that are solid enough for us to put up for those opportunities. So, and if you have any challenge, as I said, you can reach out to me, and just have it in mind that it's going to be challenging, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it. So that is what I just thought I should let us know, that we'll be on the same page, and just focus on your learning, and I wish you all the very best. So Elizabeth wants to say something. So I would like you guys to be quick so that we don't delay Fajila too much.
So, okay, thank you for the brief you just gave us. My question is that for someone like me, I just know only the basics of JavaScript, and you were saying something about Node.js, which I do not have an idea about. I think it would be nice if you could put on the channel the particular programming languages we need to know, because which means I'll have to start afresh. I don't know how personally they are going to introduce getting into the solidity, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to balance that now, because you just mentioned Node.js and I was thinking it was only JavaScript that we're going to use.
Okay, so when I said Node.js, I don't mean you are doing back end. I mean in terms of using Node.js, like installing Node.js on your PC. You're not doing back end here. All right, just the basics of the Node.js, just understand it. It's not a programming
Yeah,
language.
that's exactly what I don't know how to do it. That's why I say maybe if we could get a breakdown of those things to be able to read ahead before we start
Okay.
the practical aspect.
Oh, okay. So I'll speak with the mentor to put up the list of
All right.
other tools that you need to learn, that you need to know
Okay.
actually.
No.
All right.
All right.
So yes,
All right.
JavaScript,
Thank you.
HTML, and CSS is fine. That is a requirement actually. It's a requirement. It's a must. It's a must. I think someone else's hands is raised. Is that all? Okay. Omo, you want it, please?
Good evening, ma.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, so it was about the statement you made that someone has to have the experience of JavaScript, HTML, and the likes. So I'm
Mhm.
asking, so I, as a person, I really do not have an experience. I think I only know a little about HTML, and I'm not even very good, sincerely. So I'm just putting out the question so I will know what to do.
Okay, so right now you need to go back to the basics. I'm going to be realistic.
And
I'm not going to like encourage you to just put up with it, because trust me, it's going to be very, very challenging for you. And even with those people that I mean, with people that actually have just a basic understanding of JavaScript and not really good, you know, in depth of JavaScript, still struggle a bit. Not to talk of someone that doesn't have it's not a bad thing not to have the experience. Trust me. It's just that what you need, you know, it's just what you need for the journey, basically. So you need to have it. It's a necessity that you have it. It's important that you have it. So it's not a bad thing. You don't need to feel bad or feel discouraged anyhow at all. All you just need to do is, if you can take a few steps back to just have those things, then you get back on your track. Do you understand what I mean?
yes, ma.
All right. So you can send me a
All right,
DM so that I
all
can
right, ma.
personally handle, because we've been having issue with ladies and everybody changing track, and we are not going to be changing track for anybody anymore. There's no
All
going to be
right,
change.
ma.
So you can send me a DM personally so that I
All,
can work on it. Then you
all
can.
right, ma.
Okay. So any
Thank you,
other
ma.
question before I go? Yeah, you're welcome. Any other question before I go? All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Falilat, please go ahead.
All right, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
the introduction. I didn't even remember
So you
to
can
ask.
actually add to what I've just said, Falilat, because I
Yeah,
know you are
yeah.
well.
Okay, thank you. So for the Node.js parts, the person that asked, have you started, you said you've been doing JavaScript, beginning JavaScript, right? For you to use JavaScript, you must have Node installed in your system. If truly you are doing
No,
JavaScript,
it's just it's just basic. So
have you
just
started
how
have,
to use the
have you started using it on your
functions
system?
and
Have you started writing those little basics on your system? Hmm?
yeah, but it's always connected to the HTML page.
No.
So,
For
That means
JavaScript to
you're still
run,
using, yeah. Are you using web ID?
no,
or
I'm
is
using
your
VS Code.
maybe you
Then
didn't
you
remember,
must
you must have Node installed
yeah,
already
install
for
already.
JavaScript to run. Maybe as we get to that, we all know who is having problem. We are going to do some installation in this class,
Okay,
and whatever your system is telling you, we go through it and we solve everybody's
okay,
problem, hopefully. Yeah. Thank
all
you.
right, okay, thank you. All right.
So let's continue. So I was explaining about the address. I just want us to get a grasp of what an address looks like. While at the same time explain what the transaction receipt looks like on the blockchain. So when you perform a transaction from your address to any other address, for you to perform a transaction, it has to be from one person to another person. So you get a transaction receipt, but this is how it looks like. And there's click to see more. There are more information under it. This is just a transaction receipt from this darker blue. You cannot see it to the head of this darker blue. So that is just the transaction receipt. So we are going to talk about the address. We want to know the difference between an EOA address and the smart contract address. So this transaction was performed from this person to this person. So now when we click on this address, it takes us to the profile of that person. Do you understand? One thing about this blockchain is that everything is public on this blockchain. You can see the person's value. You might not know who owns this address, but if you know who owns this address, you can just come to the blockchain, put in the address in the search button, and check what has happened on this account so far. Look at this particular transaction history. First of all, this is an EOA, because if it's a contract address, you are going to see it here as a contract address, and it's going to tell you who created the contract. But here it is an EOA because it doesn't have anything related to code. You will see there are some information you'll be seeing on contract address that you will be seeing here, because the functionality of this one is just to send money from one person to the other, either to a smart contract or to another EOA, and send Ether. And it's telling us that this particular address has 1.7 Ether, and the Ether value, the dollar value of this Ether is so amount. And if you have some other tokens, it only has this token. And if you have some other tokens, you see those tokens listed here in this drop-down menu. And also you see its transaction received. But the main aim of coming here is to check how difference between an EOA and a smart contract address. This is an EOA address. There is nothing relating to code that you are seeing here. Yeah, there is nothing relating to code that you are seeing here. So it's just an EOA. What it does is show us the balance, show us the Ether value of what he has, show us if he has another token, and some of the transaction received, if he has performed some internal transaction, if he has 20 token transaction, analytics, and some comments that might involve with this account. This is Etherscan. Etherscan is the public of, is like the part of blockchain. It shows you exactly what is going on with one person from another person to another account. You see a lot of information here. As a developer, you should get used to it. You should know how things are moving here. So that's that on EOA account. So let's take a look at how a contract account. So let's see who we perform this transaction to. This transaction is also performed to a normal address, an EOA address, right? So we are looking for a transaction account. So let me click on this one. It's also an EOA. I'm coming. Transfer from this person to this person. Okay, so I'm going to need a contract address. So I need to search. Okay, if I want to take a contract address, I can come here. If it's a token contract address I want, I'll see it here. So we'll talk about those ones later. So I'm so sure that all tokens are actually contracts deployed on this Ethereum blockchain. So they are here. So I can click USDT that we are all familiar with, USDT. So we are going to go into contract address of USDT, what it looks like. So click on this. Now, this is USDT. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because this particular token is recognized, it's not showing to us that this is a contract address. Normally, this particular token is not recognized by Etherscan. It's going to say that this is a contract address, and it will give you the address here, just like we have it in the hill here. But look at it, it's a recognized one, so it doesn't need to paste the address here. It just tells us that this is a USDT token. But when we come here, we have many other information, right? Just like the way we had balance the other time. We have many other information. It is because of the nature of what type of contract this address we are looking at is. But if you look at this space, this is the address of this contract. So you can click on it to go to where the address is, but you don't need to. When you go click on, every information you need is on this page. The decimals, you know what the decimal is when you start coding. Then the official sites of this team, the social profile, because this is a recognized contract on the Etherscan. That's why you have some of this thing well labeled and like something you can just read. Then, now where is the code to this contract address? This address, to interact with it has some code that is controlling it. Where is the code? For Etherscan, when you see a green mark here, that means what? The code is readable in Solidity. It has been verified. So these are the codes of that contract. This that we are looking at now, the EOA address doesn't have it because it doesn't have any code. It's just a normal transaction that you can perform. But this one is being guided by code, right? Before you can perform any transaction, it has to run based on the code it is being deployed to. So this address that we are seeing here, anytime somebody make a transaction, a transaction, or anytime somebody make a message call, like try to call this address, these are the things it's going to be running on. These are the function. Any function you call it triggers the function. Anything you try to do, it is based on whatever it has here. And whatever that address can do is based on what has been written here. That's why it is called smart contract. It is smart because of the condition you set it to perform for you. Very good. So it said like whatever condition you set here, and somebody try to make that condition like try to okay, you say okay, based on this condition, perform this agreement for this person. So when this person come with that condition, your smart contract can perform the agreement because you've been able to program it. So that's that on smart contract addresses. There are lots to learn about that actually. So that's that. I just want us to have a feel of what an EOA is and what the smart contract address is. So characteristics of an account. So when we talk of characteristics of an account, like every account has something that makes them an account on the blockchain. How are they generating? How is it that okay, these accounts cannot send the same transaction twice? How is it that these accounts cannot actually cheat the blockchain? How are they calculating this in small small? So yeah, this can be a bit technical, but they can get a general overview of what it is. Now, we have 4 characteristics of an account that every address, be that EOA or smart contracts. I'm having a weird sound, so excuse me. Does anybody have any questions so far? And are we understanding it? I need a response.
Yes, I am.
All right. So the characteristics of an account now, we have what we call nonce, balance, code hash, and storage routes. Yeah, what is nonce? Nonce is a counter that increases every time a transaction is performed on an account. It can also be regarded as a counter that indicates the number of transactions sent from an account. Yeah. If you create an account as a normal person, like you just create an account and you've not performed any transaction on that account, your nonce will be 0. When you perform your first transaction, it increases to 1. When you perform another transaction, it increases to 2. When you perform another transaction, it increases to 3. It's just helping them to make sure that's what that nonce is telling them that okay, this particular nonce is not on the blockchain with this account. And yes, this person is not trying to replay the blockchain. They're not trying to send the same transaction twice, whereby you give him money twice or you just deduct his money once. No, it tells them to check against you trying to cheat the blockchain. That okay, so that anytime you perform a transaction, they counted it up like okay, you perform this transaction, you perform this transaction, you perform this transaction. So that's why it always have what's nonce. So nonce is the what is the counter that indicate the number of transactions sent from an account. That's it. Then balance. I don't know if this. I think I thought okay, it was a product management student. Do we remember? Do we know the Ethereum units? We have Ether, we have Fini, we have Sabu, we have Gwei, we have yeah.
Gwei.
We have how many do we have? Who can tell how many of Ethereum currency do we have? The unit of Ethereum, like the currency you can spend on Ethereum blockchain. How many? Were we taught in class?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question?
How many currency, like how many Ethereum units or denomination can you have on the Ethereum blockchain? For example, we have Ether, we have Gwei, we have Gwei. How many of them do we have in total?
I think about 7.
7. All right, that's a good try actually. Thank you.
Around 9, 8, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, that's a good try too, but we don't have up to 7, we have 6. Yeah. But the most used ones are 3. Others are actually used, but not really used. So that's an assignment for you guys. You guys have to know how many units we have, how to calculate them, how many zeros one have. But the most used one I'm going to talk about them, that's the Ether itself, Gwei, which is the smallest of them all, and then Gwei, which is one that is being calculated in gas. Gas is calculated in Gwei. Ether is the biggest of the units, just like we have the 1,000 be the highest denomination in Naira. That is the highest denomination in Ethereum blockchain. Where is the smallest? Just like we have the Kobo being the smallest. And Naira is another version that Nigerian money doesn't have. Do we get it? So on this balance, now every account have a particular Ether balance. But the Ether balance is not recognized in Ether, it is recognized in way. That this represents the number of way owned by this account. Like how many way do you have? Because they are using way because way is the smallest unit of currency on the Ethereum. So when they say one way, that is just one. But when they say convert one way, convert 1 Ether to way, that would be 1 and 18 zeros. So they say the smallest unit of currency, that's okay. I put it in the bracket, say that way is the smallest unit of currency. That is 1 Ether equals to 1 times 10 raised to power 18. That is 1 and 18 zeros. So I'm going to show us a particular site that I would think we should all go to and learn about this thing. Ether conversion. I don't have it open already now. Okay. So we have Ether to way here. So you can convert from any currency you want to convert. So you can know it. So the ones they did here was just for 3. That one I had was more than 3 now. Did they change it? Still use this site last week. Okay, so when you pass in, if you pass in 1 Ether here, just 1 Ether, you see the value in way. And you see the value in gray. These 3 are actually the most used because they have a particular reasons for using them. Right now, this gray is actually used to calculate gas. Gas is being calculated, like the gas price is being calculated in way. And 1 Ether is actually the highest. So to let you know that we can have 1 Ether, I have less than 1 Ether. And but what sometimes you cannot just say I want 1 way. But instead of it to represent the smallest unit you can represent this Ether is in this way. So 1 Ether will give you what 1 and 18 zeros. So if you count this from year to year, is 18 zeros. If I say 2 Ether, that's 2 and 18 zeros, and this one is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one is 9 zeros. So that's how the calculation is being done. It's just okay for us to know that there are different calculations of Ether on the Ethereum. And so the balance is just telling you that was how much a particular account has on the Ethereum blockchain. At that point in time, you are checking it so that they will know that, oh, he has this amount, he wants to send this amount out. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. He has this amount, he wants to receive this amount. Oh, okay, good. Do the transaction, increase his balance and so. Now, code hash, as name implies code, you know that, okay, when we are talking of code hash and there's a particular account that has code and the other account doesn't have code. So why are they not saying that both of them have the characteristics? Yes, it's just for them to be able to specify that, okay, when they are trying to, okay, we don't mine on Ethereum again, there's not validators. Before, when they used to mine, when they're trying to mine the transaction, they want to check, okay, is it a contract address? How should we check? Is it a contract address? So is this code hash that helps them to check? So for an ego which doesn't have the code, it is what? I think the hash is empty. Yeah, the hash is empty string. But for a contract, it has a particular hash of all the codes stored in one place. So let's read it. This hash refers to the code of an account on the EVM. Contract account have code programmed in them that can perform different operations. This code are contained in the state database under the corresponding hashes for later retrieval. When we talk of hash is like you encoding something from what people can read to something that people cannot, like a secret way of putting something, like okay, I know that if you say hi space AM space A plus BOY is I am a boy. But you don't want anybody to know that that's what you wrote there. You can hash that I am a boy. It will return a fixed length amount of data for you that anybody cannot read it. People will not even know what it means. Like, you're just, this is an hash now. It means something, but they don't know what it means until you decode it for them. So them saying hash here means that what? The code that you wrote is being hashed somewhere, which is where it is being hashed and stored in a particular database. So under the corresponding hash for later was retrieval, it is being hashed and stored somewhere so that maybe it will reduce the storage size it is taking. And so when you hash something, it should reduce the storage size of that thing. So that's the storage size. So whenever they need it, they call that hash value and they will make use of it because they say that it is being stored in database of the EVM and then was call later for what retrieval. The hash value is also known as what the code hash. The hash value, when you hash a particular information, it gives you a fixed amount of length, like fixed in different characters, but it is fixed in length. And it's also called what the code hashed. All right, go ahead.
So you are saying that it's only a contract account that has a code hash, and EOA
Yes,
does not.
Yeah, the code hash of an EOA is empty string.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what is now the cryptographic hash that they use in making the blockchain? I think it's coined from transactions that are made. And since transactions are being carried out on an EOA, how come it doesn't have an hash?
It's the aspect I'm coming from and the aspect you're asking question is actually different. Yeah. A cryptography is being used to generate an address. Let me just explain that part. A cryptographic calculation like math is being used to generate an address because there's a way they have to attach the particular address to the private key. Share again. There's a way that address also has its public key. So it is cryptography that is being used. Like there's a hash that is being used to do all those things, right? Then after this address has been done, to make sure that this address is distinct also from other things. Okay, what are the things? What are the code? Does it have a code? Like now, a contract address has a code, Abby. Are we going to just store all the whole code somewhere? No. We need to hash it to reduce the amount of storage it will take so that anytime we need those code, we can always call it in our database for retrieval. But does an EOA has a code? No. But let's just put it there that was because anytime when an EOA doesn't have a code, the only thing you can do with it is what? Send transaction. Abby?
Transaction.
Yes, that one is hard coded. Like the logic to do that on the EVM is actually it doesn't even pass through the EVM, just pass through the blockchain. Stuff to do that is not actually related to the EVM. So there's no need of storing code because it doesn't need anything to run. What it needs has actually been prepared for EOA. But what I wrote in my contract is different from what you wrote in your contract. So anytime they want to perform a transaction for my contract, they need to generate where they actually keep it. But they can't keep it like that because it's going to take much space. So they have to hash all my codes and store it somewhere. So they use my hash value to retrieve my code anytime I need it, which an EOA doesn't have.
Okay.
Are we good? Okay. So the aspect we are coming from is actually from the address generation. There's a lot about cryptography and the blockchain. When you read deep, you understand that, okay, yes, hashing is just a lot. But it's used for different aspects. You know, we are dealing with accounts here. So the hashing we are talking about is accounts related. Yeah, go ahead. Next person.
Okay, hello. Good evening. The question I want to ask is that page you showed us on the contract code on Etherscan. I wanted to ask, is it possible to tell if a project can possibly be rug pulled by looking at the code?
Exactly. That's why you are here learning blockchain development. As a developer, you just don't interact with a smart contract without you trying to understand what is inside that smart contract. Because you are a developer, you can read the smart contract. You can now read the code. By the time you are done this Web3 program, you should be able to read this code. You should know what this thing is doing. So before you can now just say, okay, I want to put my money, I trust this particular smart contract. Let me go and read their code. Where were they deployed to? Now, when you read their code and you feel satisfied, you don't see anything shady in their code, then you can be rest assured. So people might not even put anything shady in their code. Although the blockchain cannot change, but there's something called upgradable contracts that they can later change the implementation, change their policy implementation and then do something. So if you see that it is not an upgradable contract, it's a contract that cannot be upgraded. It's just a normal stake. Okay, I can put my token here. Now, I didn't read this code for you because if I start telling you these things, I'm not the one to teach you solidity, right? Like the core aspect of all these things. So I'll just confuse a lot of people. That's why I skipped through it. I just wanted to see. So by the time you start doing it, everything will be new to you. By the time you finish, you'll be able to read here, like a verified code. Now, you want to develop, like, you want to send money to a particular contract, and there's no green tick here, which means it has not been verified. What you'll be saying is this, and nobody can read this. People can read this actually, but I can't read it. This is it, bytecode. We call it bytecode. This is contract ABI. This is the bytecode. If a contract is not verified, like what we have here, this is what you will see. So if they're not verified that their contract, definitely they might have reasons to maybe will put people because they will know that only few people, even developers, might not be able to read this one, but advanced senior solidity engineer might be able to decode this. But somebody like me cannot decode this, right? But as a solidity developer, I can decode this. I can say this is what is going on here, this is what is going on here. And if you also want to be good as a solidity developer, you have to read people's code a lot. Like just go to a task and go and read what the code is doing. Go and say that this is what is happening here. Oh, there's going to be an attack. Oh, there's not going to be an attack. So that's it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, can we move ahead?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. So the last thing is the storage root. So this is a 256-bit hash of the root node or macro partition tree that encode the storage content of the account. Yeah. So what they are saying here, there's something called macro tree, which is actually for macro partition tree, which is actually another cryptography thing that even me myself as a mentor here, I cannot give a full explanation of what it is, but I understand the general thing of what a macro tree is doing. What a macro tree is doing, anytime we talk of hashing something, it's just trying to get data that are related, hashing them in different branches until it hash it to just one branch. You know, when we talk of tree, this is why they call it macro trees, because when we talk of trees, not starting from the root, so let's start from the top now. The top of a tree, please everybody should imagine it. Or should I go and use a tree? Because imagine it in your head. The top of a tree is scattered, different branches, different leaves. Starting from the leaves are attached to each branch. Then each branch come down. Some branch are attached to some branch. Then some branch are attached to so maybe the main branch is just there. The main branch is just two branch, but the other each two branch, there are other branches. In those branches, there are leaves. Those leaves attached to the sub branch. From the sub branch, it attached to the first branch. Then from the two branch now, the two main branches that I was saying earlier, now come down to just what one tree, which is the root. Now, what the reason why I use that was because the general idea behind that macro tree is that different things that are related to that tree are being scattered everywhere. So now we are trying to bring everything down to one, so that anytime somebody calls the root, they can have access to at least any leaf that is inside that root. Because remember, the root is a combination of all the leaves, right? Does anybody get that explanation?
Yes, I did.
So it's a combination of all the leaves. So I can just, instead of me storing all the leaves, cutting all the leaves, I'm going to store it somewhere. Why can't I just take the roots? Because if I have the roots, if I have access to the roots, I can access to anything on that tree. Because the root has the leaves in it. So that's why I call it storage roots. This is a 256-bit hash. It is also being hashed. It's also reduced space of the root node of macro partition tree that encode the storage content of the accounts. Like, okay, maybe the history of your account, things of your account, some of them just storing. They are supposed to be hashing inside different leaves in. Anytime they have access to your roots, the roots to your account, they can get any transaction they want to get, any history, anything, any storage, any data that you have in that account. Do you get it? So, guys, this is not enough to understand the real understanding of accounts. There is need for you to do more research, more learning, more understanding. Get yourself confused, come back and clear yourself. As time goes on, 2, 3 months, 4 months, you're going to be a good man. Hopefully, so I'm praying that for myself. So, still on accounts, yeah. So we are going to talk about differences of an account, yeah, differences of an account and everything. So I will need two people, sorry, in class. I will need two people to just tell me two differences from things I've mentioned so far. Of maybe one person should tell me one difference between an EOA and a smart contract account, and that person should tell me the difference between an EOA and a smart contract. You can go ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Okay, so an EOA has a private key, and a contract account does not have a private key.
What does a contract account have? It has
code. It has code.
It has code. Thank you. I'm going to answer your code. Thank you. I'm going to answer your question, Bakari. Who else wants to go for the next one? That's a good one. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Who else wants to go? Who can try again? Apart from private key and code, what do you think? Where's come to go again, please? Nobody. That means I've not been teaching since 1 year. I've just been blabbing. I'm disappointed. So, Bakare, is your question clear, or you want to actually ask? You want me to answer you again? You're asking that what are we hashing exactly? I remember saying that we are hashing any data that is related to the roots, to that particular account, be it history, transaction that he has made so far, and everything. You understand it now? Thank you. Explain it. Oh, thank you. So, Bakare, just tell the difference between the smart contract and HOA address. Please, somebody should please now. We are all ladies, right? All right, thank you, Chamaka. Hey,
Okay, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, an EOA can initiate a transaction, but a smart contract cannot initiate a transaction.
That's also, I didn't even remember saying that. I think you guys are reading, and that is really good. Big ones for you guys. Yeah, thank you very much for that. The same thing with what contract address as a code dash. Yeah, contract address as a code dash. And EOA has a sender that initiates the transaction. Since what Aisha said, the code within triggers the transaction. Yeah, the code. Okay. You know, he said anyway can initiate a transaction while a contract cannot initiate a transaction. That means the code cannot actually trigger themselves. Something has to trigger them. So that means an EOA has to trigger the code. Before a smart contract code can be triggered, there must be an EOA involved. Yeah. Thank you very much. Just want to clear that. So the next thing you just want me to have the latest ones I have, as Elizabeth has said, okay, as no code and controlled by private key, one can initiate transaction and one cannot initiate transaction. Creating an account costs nothing here. Very cost nothing. We are going to create an account. I don't know if you all have MetaMask, so we are going to create an account and we are not going to spend a dime. The only thing we are going to spend is just our internet connection to create an EOA account for ourselves. But when you want to create a contract account, it costs you money because you need to store your code on the EVM somewhere. So anytime they call your contract account, it performs the execution as you expect it to perform. So you pay it, you pay when you are deploying to the network, you are deploying a smart contract to the network, you actually pay to. So because you deploy a code to the network, it gets an address for that code. And you pay to deploy to run any transaction on the blockchain, you pay gas fee. And gas fee is being calculated with Ether. So you pay, but on normal EOA doesn't cost you anything to create. So okay, my class activities again. I'm just asking questions. I just want everybody to be on the same page with me. My class activities like we want to just do similarities between an EOA and a smart contract. So because of our time, I'll just accept two similarities also. Two similarities. Somebody. Okay, I did two. Thank you.
Okay, both of them have the same 42 hexadecimal characters.
Okay, 64 is a decimal character. Thank you
64.
very much. Yeah, thank
Okay,
you
is it
very much.
64?
Yeah, let's confirm together.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
it's 52. Okay.
64 is a decimal character.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
okay.
That's really awesome.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so Elizabeth, no, don't raise your hand. Thank you. I want another person. I'll come and make call names. Oh. If you want me to call names, better raise your hand. I like calling names. So, which other one? Okay, I'm going to the last. I think all of it can. I want to go and put the last person on the list. You might not be the last person on your own list, but you are the last person on my list here. Victoria left the class. Victoria, I will not allow you to enter this class again. Okay, I'm picking Victor. Juliet, your mic is on and your camera is on. I'm picking Victor. Victor, I don't want to do my Yoruba again. Please, can you help us with similarities? Victoria left the class because she's the last person on my list.
Hello.
Hi, Victor.
Good evening. The
Yeah.
similarities I wanted to type was actually what she just said, the hexadecimal characters.
Character. Okay. Any other person? Okay, let's see. You can't see any.
Okay,
Wow. Elizabeth, if you have that issue, please try to go in and come back again. Let me text her to go in and come back. Okay, you can now. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now, Messi, you were saying something.
I want to try. Both an EOA and a contract listing can receive funds.
Awesome.
They can send
Yeah,
funds.
they can receive it and send it. Thank you very much, guys. So there's a lot of assignments here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm saying assignment because yeah, there's not enough time. It's already 1 hour gone. And we have to make sure we do some that's practical things today. So you guys are going to read. Yeah. And the best place to read, the best books to read, if you don't have enough, if you don't want to be too overwhelmed, there are a lot of resources and there are not enough resources here to the Web3 space. There are a lot of resources and they are not enough. Sometimes you're looking for something, you might not even see it. You understand? But the one I would recommend the most is you reading the Mastering Ethereum book, which will help you. There are going to be a lot of jargons there, but trust me, if you try to be consistent with it, even though you don't understand at first, maybe you keep reading, read the chapter by chapter, or you read the chapter that you want to understand, depending on how you think you can read, just try to read the Mastering Ethereum book. Apart from just developing, it helps you to have a general idea of what the Ethereum blockchain is, and also gives you a better understanding you are developing. Because when you really understand this, you're able to develop for any clients based on what they want. So please, guys, so that's that. So we are moving to the next thing and we're talking about the EVM. So let's talk about EVM. EVM is a big thing. What's EVM? What does it mean by EVM? And we can't see EVM as they implies Ethereum virtual machine. It is virtual. So if you don't overthink it, don't think it's something you can think, you can see, you can feel. No, you can't feel it. It's virtual. What is virtual can never be seen or touched. So what is an EVM? Let's read. Is that part of Ethereum that handles smart contract deployment and what execution? The EVM running on the Ethereum blockchain can be thought of as a global decentralized computer containing millions of what executable projects. The reason why it contains millions of executable projects is because it's that part of Ethereum that handles smart contract deployment and execution. Do you know how many people have deployed to the Ethereum blockchain? Do you know how many transactions running on the Ethereum blockchain? So that's why they say that it contains millions of executable projects. So the EVM is actually the one that is able to perform some logic. Or you said in your smart contract that so calculation should be done. When somebody triggers this function, calculate 2 plus 2 to give you 4. So it's actually the EVM that is helping you to run this according to the way you want it to be run. So you have the millions of it. It is executing a million of it. So another thing I'll say is that the EVM is a quasi-Turing complete state machine. It is quasi-complete because all execution processes are limited to a finite number of computational steps by the amount of gas available for any given smart contract execution. That definition is wrong. Yeah. When this something is quasi-Turing complete, it's because it is being fueled by a particular thing to run. It is something that is making it run. Without that thing, it will not run. So now it is quasi-complete because the moment it have, or let's say for a motor to run, that's usually the best analogy for quasi-Turing complete. Like for a motor to work, it needs fuel, right? If you don't have fuel, it stops. So now that's it. Like if you actually want to execute a smart contract on DVM, you need to go to gas. You need to send gas along. If you don't have gas, you will not be able to execute any transaction. No, not any. So they say it's quasi-Turing complete state machine. It is quasi-complete because all execution processes are limited to a finite number of computational steps by the amount of gas available for any given smart contract execution. It's based on the amount of gas you provide. If you say that, it's 10,000 gas, and you send 5,000 gas, do you think that thing will execute? It will execute the one it can execute when it gets to 5,000 and you see that oil has finished, it reverts. I did all the things that are executed before go back to the original state, and you will just waste your 5,000 gas. But if you send 10,000 gas to it, or if you send more than 10,000 gas to it, it uses all the 10,000 gas to execute your information and you get your results, and it will refund the rest to you because you didn't use it. But if you send 5,000 and it executes, when it uses up to 5,000 like this, it reverts. all the things that it has executed before will not actually have any changes. All of them will turn back to what they were before you execute it, before you even execute it. Do you get it? So when you are performing something on blockchain, make sure you send enough gas so that you will just waste your gas. Because if you try to make a transaction that doesn't have enough gas on the blockchain, it just uses your gas. When it realizes it can't go further again, everything that it has calculated, it reverts it back. It doesn't put, and it tells you that error, that transaction failed and all. But you are not getting your gas back. Thank you. Ask a question.
Okay, is it I was thinking that when you want to carry out a transaction,
Thank
the
you.
number of gas you're supposed to use is being automatically applied to that particular transaction. Are we the one who is going to fix the gas on the amount we have, or the blockchain automatically gives us the number of gas it's going to need to carry out that transaction?
Thank you. Let me ask. You asked this question because you performed transaction on the blockchain before, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I'm new to this.
Wow,
So
this is
I've never
awesome.
tried it.
Okay. The reason why I said I think you asked that question, I will later when I'm done with this question. The reason why I think you asked this question was because when you're using tools like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or any other will I put this? Tools like MetaMask, Trust Wallet, or any other wallets or anything that you're using, they have a way that they've helped you to check how much it will cost you to run that particular transaction you want to perform. You understand? So by the time you want to press send, they already see that this is what you want to send at me. So there's something that actually helps them to calculate it and tell you that, oh, it is also amount of gas you'll be needing. So if you don't have enough gas, they tell you that you don't have enough gas to run this transaction. They don't want a situation whereby you perform a transaction halfway and it gets reverted and your gas fee is gone. So they were able to use, you see all these node and now PCGs, they were able to use to read what is on the EVM, how much of gas it will take the transaction you want to perform. It is not how the blockchain like this. It is the tools that we are using to help us enter successfully to the blockchain. Part of these tools is MetaMask. Part of these tools is the Etherscan I just provide for you. There are a lot of tools that has actually made a lot of things easier. Because without those tools, people will suffer. If you are developing on your own, if you are developing with others, you'll be the one to set gas. If you did not set gas, we tell you out of gas error. Because what you are not using wallets to send transactions, you are sending transactions straight up to the blockchain from your development environment. So you need to set gas by yourself. Do you get? But if you are using all those trust wallets, you might think it's the blockchain. It's not the blockchain. It's not people that develop trust wallet to work on the blockchain that helps you to find a way to help you to calculate the normal transaction. So that is that they tell you that, oh, you cannot send this transaction because you don't have enough gas. Or yes, that's what they will tell you, that you cannot send this transaction because you don't have enough gas, that it might revert. So instead of you to just send your transaction and then waste some gas because it was not enough, and then you still did not get anything in return, they will already tell you that this gas will not be enough because they calculated it for you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Now I get.
Somebody wants to ask another question.
Yes, I do. I want to know, are there special platforms or to create a smart contract? Hello?
Your network
Can
is
you hear
breaking, but
me?
if I hear you right, they're saying, yeah, oh my God, mute yourself. Yeah, sorry, I don't know, there's a kind of sound, the background sound that is disturbing there. So if I hear a question very well, please just say yes when, like, you said, I did some platform that helps you to create smart contracts. My question is, do you mean that gives you the access to create your own smart contract, or they create smart contracts for you? Because I need to do what you're asking that question for, so I won't answer on you. If you can type or you can just try to talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, you said when deploying smart contract, you're deploying straight from your development environment to the blockchain.
Yeah.
I'm asking, is it that a smart contract address is created immediately? Is there like an extension of the development environment or something like that?
Okay. Can you mute yourself? Yeah. The question she asked the other time was based on gas, right? Your own is based on smart contract deployment. Yeah, there are tools that are helping you to develop your code, write your code, then develop. But when you want to get your smart contract address, it's actually being generated on the blockchain itself, not those tools. But those tools just make you to bypass some hard things, to just do things easily. When you deploy to the blockchain, that's when you get a smart. When your contract address get deployed, when your contract, your code get deployed successfully, then it will return the contract address to you to tell you that, oh, this is the location of your code. I don't know if I answered that question. But yeah, there are some tools. I did. All right, thank you. So do we still have any question?
Yes.
All right. I need to say I can hear you.
All right, thank you so much for the class so far. Okay, so my question is related to what Elizabeth asked regarding the gas fee. So I know that for platforms like Trust Wallets, they are going to set the gas for us. So I wanted to be sure I got that right, that they are the one that is setting it for us, because sometimes I'm confused. In 1 minute, they can put a high price. In another minute, they can put a low price for the same transaction. So are you saying that it's those gas fees generated from Trust Wallets, but for smart contracts, we are the ones to do that? Did I get that right?
Yeah. I like how the question came in from what I said. That's a lovely question, I must say, because what I say is actually different from what you're saying now. Now, this is it. Before, when there was still the mining part, see, let me tell you something. Gas fee is not stable because we are miners. That's as everybody here is mining, and we all want to mine for profit. You understand? We all know the law of demand and supply. The higher the demand, the higher the price. So now, you see the reason why your gas fee is fluctuating because on the same transaction is because that time you are performing transaction, maybe the time it was $24, maybe just gas fee is $24. There are a lot of people performing transaction on that platform, and people that are mining it are going to pick up your transaction if you are ready to pay higher fee.
Okay.
Sure you go. So now, when there's congestion on the blockchain, gas fee increase because miners are what picking up the congestion. They are picking are the ones that are paying higher fee. So the congestion will determine the amount of gas you'll be needing to get your transaction pick up on time. Do you understand? So that's why you see that when you go now, it is $24. When you come later, it is $1. That's why that is $1. There's low demand.
Okay.
If you want to perform transaction, but now that there's a stake of what's the name? Proof of stake. It might not be like that, but it can still be like that because of the congestion soon. But then if you see that like the gas fee is $80-something, you'll be like, what's going on? It's because there's congestion. People are demanding that their transaction should be mined. And miners are saying that, okay, follow your advice, I cannot give myself the resources I have, I can only take anybody that wants to pay this amount. So Trust Wallets will kind of calculate what the miners is collecting at that particular point in time based on your transaction and give it to you.
Okay, so it just always gets me confused. I know recently I was trying to make a transaction and it was just from 20. So I was telling myself, okay, let me wait till in the morning, early morning, like 6 a.m.
Exactly. I used to do my own at 4 a.m. and 4 a.m. 3 a.m. But that $2 is something. Sometimes I used to wait for like less than $1, like $1. You get the point. Because it can be like that. It is. So it's actually not Trust Wallet that is getting the money. They are not the one fluctuating for you. It's what is happening on the blockchain. They are just like an intermediary that is helping you that is making life easy for you. Let me tell you, instead of you using Trust Wallets, you can actually use you can use Etherscan. But MetaMask, you still need MetaMask to use Etherscan. MetaMask will still help you to calculate your gas based on what the miners are collecting. These people have been able to know, like there's a tool, now development tech is crazy. There's a tool they were able to use to get all this information and calculate it for you in seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is that the more we get into development, now we are getting closer to the miners too. We are getting closer to the Ethereum blockchain itself. So the better we understand. So it's going to take a gradual process to be better at it. 6:15, we have less than 45 minutes ago. We have not done enough of our class.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we are done on that. I don't know what I was explaining. So I'm explaining the passive complete, like when you have enough gas. So it's passive complete because it is being run based on the amount of computational resources you put, like based on based on the computational resources you want to do and based on the amount of gas you put for that. So if the gas is not available, the contract will not get executed. And why do we have this quasi-complete? It's because the virtual machine that is used is a what? They call it, sorry. The virtual machine has a problem called halting. This is where the quasi-complete comes. Like, okay, what is halting? Halting is that when something is a virtual machine, it can run forever. Like you can send billions of transactions to it and it will keep running. But something that runs forever has tendency of what halting, like it stop. Like yes, I don't know if anybody is familiar with this looping, infinite looping. Yeah. If you have done JavaScript, don't let your don't let your loop enter infinite looping. Your machine will just get stranded. Your machine will just hang. Yes, it can happen on the virtual machine like that. That's what they call halting problem because it has a tendency of running forever because it has no control to stop it. And running forever can lead to the machine of halting, that is stop. So the Ethereum virtual machine solve this problem by making it a what? A Turing complete, which only allows the computation to run based on the gas available for the computation. Do you get where that Turing complete is coming that, oh, you have to pay gas to be able to run this transaction? Because if they don't tell people to pay gas, some people will run transaction forever and it might even make the AVM out that nobody will be able to do anything on the EVM again. Because what? If you have abused the fact that it can be run forever, it also cuts people from performing unnecessary transactions. So if you want to run a transaction that can make the EVM out, you have to pay gas fee, and the moment your gas fee finish, your transaction stop and it gets reverted, you just wasted money. And also, this thing, see, let me tell you, this thing I've explained about EVM is, let me give myself a small grade, 5% of what you should know about EVM. We don't have class, but I just want us to have a general overview. Before you start Solidity, please read. I will show you the link. I have a link to the Mastering Ethereum. Look at the link here. Please try to read. Ask me, see, I'm very bad at chatting because we are busy, so sometimes I might not even be on my phone or I'm busy on my system. I might not reply. But if I don't reply in 24 hours, you're allowed to call me. If you have any issues with what you are doing, you don't understand. Even me too, I might not understand. But if you go through it together, or you have a partner that you are reading with, if you guys go through it together, you'll be able to see that, oh, this is what they are saying here, this is what they are saying here. Please just try to read. So next thing, so we've talked about the halting problem, how Ethereum, the reason why they have the Turing complete and what caused it and how they were able to solve it. So now the Ethereum state, now the job of the EVM is to update the Ethereum state by computing valid state transition as a result of smart contract code execution. Yeah, the Ethereum state is called world state. They used to call it world state because at every point in time, they expect everything to be the same thing. The same thing in the sense that was at 2 seconds, I have $1 in my account. You have $2 in your account. You have $3 in your account. $4 in your account. $5 in your account. At 2 points, kiloseconds, milliseconds. That's what everybody is having. You perform a transaction. That's what everybody is having. You want to set the storage. It is, I don't know. There's a something called state variable, like the storage. You are setting the storage. You want to set the storage of the EVM because everybody, they call it a single-threaded machine because everything must end in the storage. So the EVM is actually helping us to compute the computation in our smart contracts. We're able to update the Ethereum storage successfully by computing valid state transition as a result of smart contract code execution, because based on what you wrote in your smart contract. So it needs to compute the valid state transition. Okay, the this person has $2 before. He wants to send from the $2, and want to send money to this smart contract. This smart contract will use it to do this and everything. So it is going to help you to compute because based on the code the smart contract has, the EVM is going to help you to compute it from that person, deduct the money from that person, do the connection that you want to do, but increase the balance of the smart contract, reduce the balance of that person, do every other thing it needs to do, and you are good to go. So the aim of the EVM is able to help is to just help you to run your smart contract computation, and then what transition, like update the state of the Ethereum. Sorry about that. So that's the little I have on EVM. So now read more on Mastering Ethereum book here. So this is the link to this link should be clickable. I made it a clickable link. So when you come to this page, this is chapter. This chapter is just for EVM. Look at it. This is where I got what I wrote from you. Look at what the EVM looks like. I don't expect you to come here and understand now. I expect you to just give it a try. right? Compared with existing technology, EVM upcodes, some of the codes, how is it know that you should add, how is it that you should subtract, how is it that this function you called, look at the stack operation, see what is this thing doing, what are they doing. If it's more to Ethereum states, this is where I got the last one from, and explain better too. But from the general overview of what I've said so far on the gas too, be able to like make a good connection and be able to comprehend at least 60% now. Before, if you try to, you might not know what they are saying, but now there's a code here. As somebody who has not written code before, who doesn't know how to write code, you might be finding out to comprehend what they are saying here. But if you can try, and you feel like it's too buggy for you, these are X codes. You can't even me myself, I can't read X codes, but I'm able to use some little up codes. There's no X and O, yeah, X codes, but I'm used to use some little up codes. So this is it. So I'm just showing you what the material entails. This is what you have to read on this to become a blockchain developer. These are part of the things you have to read. Don't be scared. It's achievable. People are reading it. The turning completeness and gas. Then people are actually achieving it. They can read this. And that's the end of this chapter. So that's all about this chapter. So if you go to the beginning of this, sorry, the way I'm schooling. Go to the beginning of this page. This is Ethereum book. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Could you please paste this link on the message group?
All right, so you guys can have it. Thank you. So now you can see this is the Ethereum book, right? We have what is Ethereum, Ethereum brings Ethereum clients, cryptography, wallets, transactions, smart contract, and solidity, and Viper. You might skip this one because we are not teaching Viper. I've never opened this chapter before, right? But I open some of them anytime I need to work on one because I need to have a better understanding and some other stuff. So Oracle's decentralized application, Ethereum virtual machine, which is this one I was open when I was trying to create this slide. So I'll paste the link. Second question, what is the average cost of deploying the smart contract on the blockchain? So I can't answer that question. You answer what you know. Yeah. Average cost of deploying the smart contract depends on how many computation is in your code. Average cost for an NFC can be $200. That's based on the congestion of the network where you want to deploy it to. You can pay as high as $5,000 if you are deploying when the congestion is what high. Yes. So it depends. I don't know if you can pay less than 200 yen. I think you can pay between $300 for simple smart. Even if it's simple smart contract, you can pay less. But it depends on the computation in your code and also the congestion of the network at the point of deploying. Do you have that question answer? You know, gas fee fluctuates. And your computation also counts. So what you want to do also counts. I'm at the you can go.
I want to ask, the smart contracts on the blockchain, does it also have to go through the process of validation by nodes?
No, ask your question again.
I said to deploy a smart contract on the blockchain, does it also go through validation by nodes?
Yeah, it's a go through validation. Yeah, it's a go through validation by node because you are paying gas fee and they need to confirm that you're actually deploying that smart contract once and the amount of gas that is going to be deducted is from your, you cannot deploy a smart contract without having an EOA. And the smart contract deployment costs gas. So they want to discuss the gas fee from the EOA that is deploying. So it goes through the validation for them to know that yes, this EOA also has the money and the computation. I don't think they check the computation. Computation between you and your users. This EOA has the money to pay for the gas actually that is for this contract that is actually trying to deploy. Yeah. So that they can deduct the money and make sure that it's actually a reasonable account. That's it. Yeah, maybe yes. I think I'm going to do a research on that your question again. But every transaction on the blockchain passes through the miners. Are we good? Can I go on?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, working to set up. So get yourself ready. Hope everybody have a system. How many of us? Hope all of us have. If you are not joining from your system, let me know. Using noise. Okay, yeah.
I'm not joining from my system. system.
I'm not joining from my system too. I'm using my phone.
Is your
I'm
system
using
with
my
you?
phone because I don't have light. It's with
Ah,
I'm
me,
not
but
just
there's no light.
okay for the class, for this class, and for your sake, you can't join this class with your phone any longer. After
All
my
right,
class
sir.
today, just try as much as possible to be with your system, charge your system for this class. Because let me tell you something, you might think you might get it when you're doing it on your own, but it's better you face the error. We all solve the error together so that you can what move ahead. And if you're not, even if you don't get the error solved together, at least you're able to ask some questions. You always move ahead. But if you think you can do it on your own, there is errors. You know, when the team lead was talking the other time, she said when you have a blogger, mentor the ask the mentor, ask the mentors and all. She said because you always have a blogger. So for a start, don't think you do it after class or something. Don't even pile it up. If you are installing something in class, install it. If you are facing error, drop it in the chat. Let me know. Screen share your screen. Let me see what you are doing, where you are getting it wrong. Although this first one, some of you might have had MetaMask on your system already. You might have it on your phone, but you must have it on your system. You must have it installed on your system because when you start developing, you need what? MetaMask. Especially when you're using Remix and you want to just interact with any of these testnet and co. Huh? Are we good from tomorrow? So yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, Chi, raise the
I want to
hand.
ask if it is necessary to create a separate. Yes, I'm
If
speaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I love this question as well. Yeah, it is. If it is necessary to create separate MetaMask for your wallet, yeah, you can mute your mic. Okay. So let me tell you something. Though I might have real money on this account, but it is not much. But if you actually want to help yourself, this is not real money. This is fake it now. If you actually want to help yourself as a developer, your your main money wallet should never be your development wallet. Reason being that you might need to copy your private key to your VS Code and you might forget and you push it to GitHub. If you push it to GitHub, your account gets compromised and they will withdraw your money if you get to have any legit money. It happened to me, it happened to someone I know. Yeah, my money was out. My 20 matic was taken away from because I mistakenly pushed my private key to GitHub. That was a stupid mistake, but where as a beginner, it's good. It's just for me to learn. It wasn't much. It was much then. It was book. It was still much. I see that fine one now. I'll be happy. 20 matic was I had to lose 20,000 there. Yeah, I don't mind me. So yeah, this is my MetaMask and this is my development wallet. I use when I'm developing. I have different accounts here. These are my testnets. I use it for development. My main account is my trust wallet. Some people main account is their hardware wallet. Some people main account is their MetaMask account, but they have it separately, away from where it can be what their private key can be compromised. Best idea, thank you for that question. Best idea, best thing to do is to have the MetaMask we are using to develop should not be close to the one you are using to what? To receive real money. If you are doing hackathon, if you know that it is the MetaMask used to develop, you want to send money to, carefully use your main wallet and make sure you are very careful. Let me tell you, code can frustrate you to the extent that you will forget that you've pushed your private key to your VS Code and you just push everything to GitHub. How frustrated you can be at some point. So you can't be extraordinarily careful. I think those are the things that they must have told you in the first learning phase. You can't be extraordinarily careful in this place. There's nothing like you are too careful. There's nothing like too careful in this because if you lose your money, there's nobody can compete, nobody can retrieve it for you. It is gone for good. So thank you. Can I go on? We have long way to go.
Yes.
And we are not achieved. I think we are done. So working tools. So guys, we'll be installing MetaMask. Everybody share your screen if it's possible. If you are joining from system and you are sure that that system you want to be using to write your code, we are going to walk through this together. While I'm saying it with my mouth, we are implementing it in your code, in your system. Right? Are we good? If you have MetaMask installed, you don't have to do it. You just have to listen to some of the important things I'll say. But if you don't have it installed, please install. Your next mentor will not come and install MetaMask for you. You know, there's no time. My own area is to make sure that you all have all the development tools ready. So that what they just do is for go into coding for you. Don't be any, I don't know, I've not installed this, I don't have this installed. Are we good?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
for cooperation. So what tools to set up a MetaMask? So what is a MetaMask first? What do we need a MetaMask and everything? One, we talk about accounts. Before you can perform a transaction on the blockchain, you need an account. So a MetaMask is not a wallet that house your accounts. It can have more than one account, two account, three account, like my own now. How many accounts have I created? I think I've created also 4 accounts on this MetaMask. Yeah. Created up to 4 accounts on this MetaMask. So this account is one account. I can decide to perform transaction from this account. I can decide to perform transaction from this account. All of them are inside my wallet address, and they are all connected with what we call seed phrase. They are all connected with what we call seed phrase. So now let's read. So this is what a wallet looks like. MetaMask is a wallet that houses your accounts. So you cannot decide which accounts you want to perform transaction on. Now, a wallet is a user-friendly interface to the blockchain network. It manages your private key to the lock on your cryptocurrencies vaults. Wallet allow you to receive let me edit that part. So wallets allows you to receive, store, and send cryptocurrency. There are various kinds of wallet, and I'll be explaining one of them as it serves as useful tools needed for us. What am I writing here? I think I didn't prefer this particular one. So as we've been needing this particular tools for our development, yeah. So which is MetaMask? We have a lot of wallets, but MetaMask is actually one of the most people use for development because it's user friendly and it is what web connected and it is most used, like the popular among them all. Yeah, it's used. So what is MetaMask? It's a I think I didn't put this particular page. So MetaMask is a type of decentralized wallet which acts as both a wallet and also as an interaction bridge for the Ethereum network. It acts both as a wallet, as an interaction bridge for the Ethereum network. What they are saying is that it has to ask your coins and also helps you to connect to the blockchain. Why? Just to note that without the use of an interaction bridge like MetaMask, your browser will not be able to access the Ethereum blockchain. See, if you don't have an interaction bridge like a wallet, like a MetaMask on your system, you cannot perform any Web3 transaction on your system. You cannot, even if you go to any protocol, you cannot do anything because there's no that particular should I use that particular tools that helps you to connect from your let me say from your system to the blockchain where it is being deployed to. So you need one. If you see, if I don't have MetaMask installed here, and I try to open a very popular protocol which you know as Uniswap. So if I did not connect my wallet here, I cannot perform interest. If I see it's telling me if I do anything, I should connect my wallet first. It's telling me that I'm wrong network. Still, because I'm not on their network, I'm on Winkibi. It said that my account is on Winkibi. This account is on Winkibi. And this one is what? Ethereum, mainnet. So it's telling me that it's wrong network, that I have to make sure that I'm on what? I'm on the mainnet network, or I leave the account, or I cannot perform any transaction here. It will still tell me, please connect to proper app. But without connecting properly, I cannot interact with the blockchain. And their smart contract is actually deployed on the blockchain, which is the one I actually want to interact with as a user. So you need a wallet to be able to perform all your transactions on the blockchain as a developer. So that's that on that. The next thing is how to install MetaMask. How many of us are going to be working through with me like physical, like practically. How many of you are going to be doing this? If you don't have MetaMask and you are joining from your system, can I get a notification? No, we are just going to be some, but nobody is going to be installing MetaMask in class today. If you have MetaMask on your, okay, I'm listening to you.
I'll be
I need to show.
installing it, but I'm joining from my phone.
But your
But
system
I'll
is
install on
with
my
you.
system. Yes.
Your system is with you, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You have MetaMask already. Okay, all right.
Yes, I have it too.
Okay, so it's only Addis that will be installing with me. Because almost all of you have it.
I have it installed.
You
I
have it
have it
installed.
installed.
Maybe I should not even stress myself. Okay, if you don't have it, let me know. If you want to install it now, let me know.
I'm installing with you. Oh.
Okay, Chiamaka is installing with me.
I'm installing with you. How about using a MetaMask extension?
Exactly what we want to use on our browser, right? Is on your browser.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who doesn't have it at all on a browser? Not your phone, no. You cannot use your phone to write code. It's only
I don't have
Chiamaka.
it sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we want to Chiamaka. You are installing it now. Why don't you wait? Wait, please.
Okay.
If you've not installed it before, we are going to install it together now. But if you've installed it before, please just listen to some of the things I might have to say. It might be helpful. I want to install it later because of one or two things. Okay, so the two of you that are installing top is Chiamaka, are you joining from your phone or from your system?
My phone.
Your phone. Okay. Judith, what about you?
From my phone.
All right, all of you are
But I
joining
have
for
my
your phone.
system.
With
Yes,
you,
but
all
I
of
have
you
my
are joining for your phone. All right, no problem, no problem, no problem. Tomorrow, if you join with phone, you are leaving my class. No, I don't mean it as a joke, but just try to join with your system so that
You
when
don't
you're
have
having
light to.
wow.
You don't have light to. It's just for 1 hour. My battery is just for 1 hour, and it goes off, and
What
they
about
can't
when you guys start practical class? You need it, please. You need it to take the best out of this class. Please just put forward, like, just try to put something to cover up for that. I know what I'm saying. I've been in this situation before. I've been in the courts before, and I know how it is. So if you don't do it along with them in class, you might get it confused. Based on even the fact that this cohort class is actually not as lengthy. You said the teammate said that it's not enough, but you can get it. You can get the best out of it. So for those of two of us that will be installing it with me, so waiting for you while with you. So the first thing is to go to metamask.io. Yeah, metamask.io. Metamask.io. When you go to this site, you have it here. You understand? Then me, I'm using Brave. If you're using Chrome, you see download for Chrome because it's something beautiful about all this thing is that they were able to get like, okay, which browser are you coming from? Which browser are you using to enter our website? So they know that I'm using Brave. So they're telling me to download for Brave, even though I have it installed. So you click on download. Yeah, you click on download. Are we game? I'm waiting for the two of you. Both of you should unmute yourself so we can be having a chat.
Yes, I'm there. I can still
Okay.
download for
So
Chrome.
download for Chrome. Yeah, you can download now. Let me know when it's done downloading.
Okay.
No bad network. Go.
It redirected me to Chrome Web Store, so I'm saying add to Chrome.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's what I expect. So somebody's noise is disturbing us. Maybe the person has to mute herself or you don't stay. So now that you guys are adding to Chrome, what do we have next? You see something like quick grades when it's done adding to Chrome. You can open it, and then create a wallet because you are coming for the first time. Yeah, you create a wallet. You see, create or import wallet. We are going to click on the one that says create a wallet and click next. Add your password, aim Australia. So this is, I want you guys to go through this while you listen to what I want to say now. Add your password. After you had your password and everybody, while you are installing, for those of you that have actually installed your MetaMask before, you were given a backup phrase, right? That backup phrase is different from your private key. I hope you all know that. And it is that backup phrase that connects all the accounts you'll be creating inside that wallet together. It is usually a 12 word, which we ask from you anytime you, maybe your system spoil or you cannot access your wallet again, or you want to import your wallet to another place. You need that backup phrase to be able to get all your money back. Without that backup, you might not get your account. But maybe if you have the private key installed, maybe you have the private key saved somewhere, you can get each account back based on their private key. But that backup phrase is a connection to all your accounts. That 12 word you'll be given should be kept like if it is real money. The reason why people are saying this because when things happen, when it goes wrong, nobody can help you. So it's better they say it now than when it goes wrong, they will be saying, hey, ja, sorry. How did you not do it? That's it for really this, right? The guys who just like, oh my God, they don't catch you here, you don't go. So you have to keep that backup face properly. Mostly, with some people don't even keep it on their system because their system can get virus or any malfire, this thing can just enter it and then malware virus can enter it and then be looking for 12 words that stay together. Be looking for 12 words that stay together. The moment it catch it, send it where it's supposed to send it, and those the ones they get it to your wallet and withdraw your money. They see that you have money there. So keep your backup phrase properly. If you don't have it again, if you know that you just ignored it or you did not save it very well, or you just put it anyway, don't use that account for you to collect normal money. See, you will collect big money in this space, so hey man. And it will not like you will not lose it because if you lose it, nobody will help you to recover it. If you know you did not keep that back office properly, you don't even do the mistake to use that account to collect money. But if you mistakenly use that account to collect money, send it straight off away to a proper account that is safe. Remember from the first I said that this account you are creating in return should not even be used for your real money. But if by mistake they sent you real money there, it has not been compromised when you are developing, send it away. But if you are saying that, okay, this is the wallet I want to use, this is the wallet I want to use for my main money, where I want to be saving my salary and everything, this wallet or where I want to be getting my money and store my cryptocurrency, the seed phrase, the private key must be kept away from the world if possible, but it's not possible. You still have to keep it in the world, but must be kept away from a living human being. Even your machine is a living man because it can get virus. It's not a living man, but it can get virus. Or things you can just download file that you're not supposed to download, and that file will be scanning through your system and be looking for your private key, your 12 word seed phrase, and send it where it's not supposed to send it to. Like it's crazy. So keep it very well. So never show it to anyone. I think I've already said those in my warning. If you lose the phrase, no one can retrieve it for you, including MetaMask. Yeah, you can't tell MetaMask, I've got my seed phrase. No, I don't think it works. After following all the above steps successfully, you should have a MetaMask wallet installed as extension in your browser. And now you can successfully interact with the Ethereum blockchain from your browser. So these are the steps you'll be taking to install your MetaMask. The two of us that are installing with me, where are we?
Okay, for me, I've gotten my recovery phase. I just copied it now.
Okay. You are going to be requested to paste it, like to say paste it somewhere. Also, so that they'll be sure that you
Yes,
note it down. Have you done that?
yes, I'm going to paste it. No, okay, just hold on.
It has to be in order when you are doing it. It has to be the way they gave it to you.
Yes.
Okay, mine is done.
All right, you have an account created for you already then.
Yeah, I just finished. I just confirmed that now I can see account one and some other things.
Okay, you can also create as multiple accounts as possible. Okay. So for those of you that just created it, did you see something at the top that is telling like show test network? You people that just created your accounts, go to this side. You should be seeing something like show test network here. Did you see something like that?
No, I can't see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can. I can see.
Click on it for you. You click on it and hold on for that. Every other person, although they will be duplicated soon, but I think they will still use the mentor should be using it. So
Sorry, can you come again for class? I don't get
for
that. Show
everybody,
test
okay.
network.
For everybody now, if you want to develop, you won't be using your main Ethereum. Let me go to my main account. This is my Ethereum mainnet, right? I don't have money on book. So, but if I want to actually be deployed, like test my contracts, there's a clone of Ethereum mainnet. Now, anything you perform on those, and we call them test nets, or we call them test nets. Anything you perform on them, it's just like you testing your smart contract and be sure that by the time you deploy to Ethereum mainnet, it's actually working fine. So you also need ethers. You also need that there are different types, although two of them will be duplicated soon. I'll be having, I think, just two that we can work with. But now, even though they'll be duplicated soon, it's okay if you understand and know it. So everybody, did you see show or hide network? Or you click on your accounts here, click on this place. Sorry. Yeah, click on this place, sorry. Click on this one that shows Ethereum minutes. Are we all there?
Yes.
So did you see show or hide test network?
Yes, I did.
So click on
No,
it.
sorry, I can't see it though.
I'm going back again. From your Ethereum minutes here. Look at my
Yes.
screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
You can. So
Yes.
you click on it.
Yeah, I did that.
Did you have this show slash hide test network?
No, I don't, but I can see all this. No, I don't have it. I don't have
You
all
don't have
this.
it. You only have Ethereum minutes. You don't have Roasting, Covan,
I
GPB.
have it. I have. Yes, I have them, but I don't have that prompt, the show or hide network.
You don't have it. Since when did you
Yes,
install your MetaMask?
it's been a while. Not
Yeah.
recent.
It's an updated line. That's what I was like. For the new one, you have the option at the top. So, but you have the test net already. Definitely, you've been it. You have the test net already. Those are the ones I want you to have. So, for those of you, when you click on it, when you click on the show or hide network, it will take you to the what to the place where you can what select this to show test network in network list. So you on it. My own is on because I'm using the test network to develop. If you just installed your MetaMask, you should have that show your test network. But if you don't have it, you can go to advanced and turn your test network on. But if you have your test network already showing in your list here, because my own test, because it's test network, test network, test network, all these Ethereum test network are already showing in my list. So you can leave it. But for those of you that it is not showing on your list, you come here and turn it on. Are we good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I want us to get it. I think I didn't do that research before I came to class. So let me see if I can. I think it be maybe for 6. Let me try to do this search in front of everybody here. So I'll send the link to you. Okay, so have we all turn our network on? Ouch. Nobody has Aken here.
Yes, mine is on.
Okay. Yeah, they are not, all your test net are now showing.
Yes, yes, I can see them.
Okay. So because of this, 0.1 UKB, people don't even have money. That's too small. Let me look for another test network. Let me check the faucet list we have. I'm supposed to search for this actually. Uh, Let me check. Okay, I have some of them here. So we are going to be doing for greenkeeping. This is the one we came to first. They asked us to sign up. But I will tell you we should do some social stuff. Okay, chain link, chain link, chain link, chain link, chain link. Test link covers transaction for test. No, this is chain link test net. We don't need chain link. We need greenkeeping itself.
Sorry, did you select a particular test network?
No, for now, just hold on. Just no, you can't select it, but just make sure that all your test network is showing, right? So, okay, what I want us to do here is to make sure that, okay, bootstrap your test wallet. Because to prevent for example, you must sign in. Okay, let me read all these things. Let me see when QB. Oh goodness. I think we have to. I want to make sure like the way I have. Look at my wallet addresses. I can deploy on Robstein because I have at least 0.098 Robstein. I can pay for. I think this can also pay for gas. And if you cannot pay for gas, say I deploy something. I think when I was testing something, I deploy a smart contract, a contract interaction. Okay, I didn't deploy it. I interacted with a smart contract. Yeah, I think that's what I have it. I think so. If you don't have ETH, test ETH, you won't be able to perform transactions successfully on your test net. And when you are deploying, I don't even have anything on cover. When you're deploying, which network am I? Which account is this? My account. So should have something on account. So let me check Winkibit. I have 0.08. This is I actually add to get. What about my website? Okay, let me change to second account. Change to my third account. Account 4. Account 4. So what I'm saying is that I want you guys to also have more. Instead of adding 000, I want you guys to get Ether, test Ether in your wallet. So that by the time you start interacting with your test net, you don't need to be looking for Ether up and down. You have your Ether already because you cannot perform any transaction without gas fee. And gas fee is being paid with what? With Ether. Do we all get where I'm driving at? So I'm looking for make it BTH for set notes. I'm looking for a faucet. We call it testnet faucet, like we call it faucet, like where you get your what are the goods on active faucet for you? Give me. Yeah, active faucet too, I beg. Chain link. I use chain link faucet all the time, though the amount is low. So let's coming up and okay. Let's see. So test need to cover so much of testing purpose. Does this one give me? So I'm connecting my wallet. Let me try to check it so you guys can see. I can decide to connect any of the account affected. Let me connect account 4 because it's picked account first for me. Connect to account 4. So it's asking which test network I want. I can decide to want NKB. I can decide to want Covan. I can decide to want Wally. Is there no Robston? Okay, there's no Robston. So let me pick NKB. I want this NKB. So why are you telling me? Yeah, you have a question. Come on. Come talk. You have a question. Yeah, you can go ahead with your question. Oh, she didn't know she raised her hand. Okay, maybe. Where was I? I was looking for testnet. So, guys, if I didn't get it done in class today, that's going to be your research to go and look for testnets. Make sure your account has test data. Be it Shrinky, be it Robstin. You shall see the test data there. The testnets are there. It's your research to go and look for test data. Be it Robstin, be it Koval, be it Shrinky, be it Guali. Sure, you understand? Any of these test data, you can always find them in any website. We used to have it, but no, I don't know what's wrong. These people are saying it's scarce. I'm like, really? Because I've not exhausted the one I have. I think I have one of some other accounts too. So, Web3 for set, ultimately, so Web3 for set. People come again here. Paradigm is not giving us Paradigm is not giving us 180 each per request. Let me check this one. I said you should sign up. Okay, maybe if you sign with Twitter and you connect your wallet and you post your wallet. Let me try to sign with Twitter. So I'm signing with my address. So it's telling me to paste my address. I think this one should go. So let me paste my address. But it used to take time, Abby. Yeah, I remember it used to take time. So it will give me Rob's thing, Abby. Are you all following me?
It usually doesn't take so a lot of time. Within 10 minutes, you have after you send your tweets, you have it's a bot. It's automated. They'll just send it.
Actually, the reason why you think it doesn't take time is because you how will I say it? You the reason why I think it takes time, let me just say for my because the first time we tried to do it, we were many, we were the cohort, like I tell you what Cambridge. So we are all many online guys, offsite guys. So all of us were going to the same website to get our first aid. And some people were getting, some people were not getting, some people were blacklisted because there is what congestion on the net. So you can only perform one transaction at a time actually. Even if it's a bot, like if it's on the blockchain or whatever thing that is sending it for. I don't know if you get my point. So if you guys actually do, I think I did my own now separate. I think it has gone. They said they are going to give me how many. You can request again in 24 hours. So I have it already. It doesn't take time, like you said, but because if it's going to be congested now, it's possible some people get, some people don't have. So you see that I have. So that means Elizabeth, you've done yours, Abby. I saw online that the Wikipedia and Web
I know.
testing has been, yeah, they are going to be finally deprecated totally. But for now, you can still use it. Yeah, Wikipedia and Web testing has been deprecated. Yes, but for now, keep using it. And I think I should introduce it to next testnet. For development's sake, it's possible that's what your developers use. But I think we should use the new test network. I think I'll give it that update tomorrow. I said it that it has been duplicated. It's going to be fully duplicated because they are not using proof of work, they're using proof of stake. But it's going to be fully duplicated, but people are still using it to develop and build on it and see how some of their stuff will work. Are we good? Hello, guys. Everybody is quiet.
Yes, we are with you. I'm currently requesting for mine.
All right. So everybody should try to request for, and I think you can use the new testnet soon, but I don't think they use. Maybe I'll get faucet for that one soon. I haven't gotten the new testnet soon. I haven't gotten the new testnet yet, so try to see if I have time to go through all this thing. So tomorrow, let me walk us through what we'll be doing tomorrow so we can prepare our mind. For those of you that didn't make a system to school, we've installed MetaMask. So we'll be trying to see how a remix looks like. I won't be the one coding for it, but I might just write some code yesterday and just see how a remix looks like, how a remix looks like, how to use remix. That's what we do tomorrow. And use remix, start to install ADAT and install some VS Code extension, Truffle and Ginache. I'm not sure we'll finish on this, but the one that I'm very sure I want to make sure I do with you is ADAT, remix ADAT and VS Code. Then we can go to introduction to Solidity and then nodes and client. This nodes and client, there's a high tendency that is people that read it. I don't used to like. There's a high tendency because with the look of, if I actually want you guys to understand this theory properly and take time on this, definitely my 2 hours might not be enough to take this, but I'll try as much as possible. It's not that I used to lie. Don't say, don't get me wrong. So I don't used to lie. I used to like go should go forgive somebody. Sometimes you just need to like to save yourself. So this one, nodes and client Jason RPC, is something I'll just try to explain tomorrow, but you'll read better on it with the Ethereum book. But I want to make sure I did justice to Remix ID, ADAT, VS Code, Truffle Suit, and Ginache. If you are using ADAT, you might not even use Truffle. The introduction to Solidity. Then you have the general overview. Overview of everything. General overview of everything. So you have a question. I can stop recording. You have been added as a co-host. All right, thank you, Rachel. Is that what they call my attention to? All right. Hit me up on Slack. My username is Oriolua. So if you need test nets, WikiBit test nets, you can hit Oriolua up. So instead of you searching for faucets, anyone can send one to you with your wallet address when you send your wallet address to me. So guys, 701, right? That will be today's class. Hopefully, and I pray I have time to extend my class tomorrow so that we can cover everything we need to cover. So that my next week can come in next week and start taking you guys solidity properly. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, she has 19 Yeah, thank you. I need to. So how was your session? Do we learn new things today? I know we are still on introduction. Oh,
Yes, I did. I
okay.
learned something and it was interesting.
Wow, thank God. So that's the aim. The aim is that it should be interesting and we should all learn as we go. So, oh, thank you very much. So tomorrow will
Thank you
be
very much,
frustrating.
ma'am.
Thank you. Tomorrow might be frustrating because we'll be installing ADAT. And if you are not installing ADAT, we leave my class. You go and watch the recording. I want to see everybody's installing ADAT and passing through the frustration. We might not write anything. You just want to feel the installation. You don't want to feel it. You might not write anything. You are not writing any code. You just want to feel it. You just feel it. Okay, Chi.
Me, see, I've been trying to keep this into myself, but I cannot investigate. See, this is managing, not even my own, and it is crazy. It is mad. Like it said, it's having small mental. So I don't even know how I'm going to do all these installations now that you're talking about. Seriously.
Oh, wow. That's serious. Actually, I don't know. You just talk to the team lead and let. If you have any problem with your system, I think you should talk to the team lead. Let them know what's going on because see to get the best out of this, you might
Vina,
think
should
you
we
can
send
learn.
our address on Slack? Is that
Yes, so
Yeah, you can even drop it here. You can drop it here if you want to.
you know if you leave
I'll
this call,
send
you
it
will not be able to
back
get
to
it
you.
again. Send it on Slack so you can also have access to it easily.
Please, I
Yeah.
did not see what
So
you did though.
which part is
How
that?
you got the rocks thing after you
I
open
only
that
installed
link.
my. Yeah, where is it? I only connected with where is it? I only connected with my sign up with my Twitter. It asked me to sign up my time. The moment I got signed up, then I have this option here to paste my address. Now it is telling me that I cannot paste my address because I just claimed a few minutes ago. But if you've not claimed before, you can paste your address after you signed up.
So
So when
as soon as I sign in with Twitter, then I should copy which particular address am I copying? Okay, just this one, right? That's this.
yes,
Okay.
this no, this address here, the one on your MetaMask, you're going to look at it. You can copy it like this. So you've
Okay.
copied it. You don't need to just click on this clipboard and you copy it to your
Did
clipboard.
you switch the test network?
And you will later switch to
Because
test
mine
net.
is
But
still
the
on mainnet.
mainnet is all of them are the same address all over the EVM test net, all over the EVM network. They are the same address. It's the same address you have here. You have on your WinKB, you have in your mainnet. See the same OSB one too. Let's go to my WinKB. So you can just copy anyone from
Okay.
here. Yeah. Talk about those ones later. You have to be mindful of that too.
Okay.
Mm,
Thank you.
So I've actually stopped recording. So guys, see you tomorrow.